Bankers of Nigeria. And at APWB, we focus on a few key things. We have a number of areas to focus on, but we always like to summarize our focus areas into three. One is to build capacity and empower women for female inclusion and female leadership. The second is to recognize, acknowledge, and prepare women for our role in building corporate Nigeria and in nation building, as well as recognizing and celebrating female achievement. So as I said, we have a myriad of objectives. We normally like to summarize them into those three. But one of our key initiatives for achieving our objectives is our research and thought leadership pillar. And this pillar recently published a report, a groundbreaking report titled Empowering Growth, Gender Equity and Macroeconomic Trends in Banking. There are two highlights I want to pull out. This quick summary is just really giving you snippets from that report. So let me say two quick things that I want to use to highlight the big picture regarding this report. One, the report speaks on the critical intersection, the juncture at which these two things meet, gender equity as well as macroeconomic trends in banking. Number two, the report then underscores how integrating gender equity into macroeconomic policies to catalyze sustainable growth and innovation in banking, yes, but broadly in our economy. And so permit me to give you a few highlights of the key findings of this report. One, we can drive economic growth through gender equity. We can. And so in this report, we emphasize that gender equity is not just a social goal, but very importantly, it's an economic imperative. And there are countries and institutions that promote gender equity in leadership roles and tend to experience higher growth rates. There are numerous studies about this. We delve into this in this report. Number two, we recognize and celebrate the increase in female CEOs that we have today. We all know that over the last 3 years or thereabouts, there's been a marked increase in female managing directors in major banks across Nigeria, with women also taking on critical roles on the board of banks. And of course, this trend is reshaping the dynamics in the banking sector, as well as driving it towards a more inclusive and equitable growth. However, when we look at the broader definition of the top leadership in banks, women account for only about 15% of top leadership positions. So while much progress has been made indeed, there's still more work to do, especially if we undertake some global comparisons. We also delve into this in the report. We note also in this report that there's still very important challenges and barriers in terms of gender equity, so that despite the progress, the report identifies persistent challenges that women face in the banking sector. We also discuss this in quite a bit of detail in this report. And the report also highlights why addressing these barriers is critical to maintaining the momentum that we have been building up towards gender equity and maximizing this for the purposes of economic benefits. We then make a few strategic recommendations to sustain and build on the current achievements. The report recommends a multifaceted approach. But in addition to this report, Empowering Growth, in addition to what I call the gender focus, looking at everything through the gender lens, there's another side of the report that I say refers to what I call the gender agnostic factors. Factors that are important to shaping a robust, innovative, sustainable banking sector. And integrating these strategies is critical for banks for the long-term growth and resilience of our banking sector. We have offerings on innovation. We've spoken about the innovation and digital transformation and why it is important to embrace this. We have offerings around sustainable and green finance. We discuss in this report the growing importance of sustainability in the financial sector and encourage banks to adopt more green finance practices, and not only helping to mitigate the environmental risks, but also open up new opportunities for growth in this new and evolving emerging space. There's an emerging green economy. That's what that is referring to, and this report speaks to that.